Hey everyone, this is our walkthrough for Checkpoint 3. Checkpoint 3 is going to focus, according to our essential question here, is was the Industrial Revolution beneficial to the environment? So are we looking at some positive impacts on the world, or are we looking at negative things that are going on? And you guys are going to be the ones deciding here if this was beneficial to the environment. Now, if we were meeting all together, Checkpoint 3 would also result in us having a Socratic seminar. Since that is not going to be happening, you are going to be doing what I am calling the great virtual Socratic seminar preparation here for Checkpoint 3. So if we look at the directions for Checkpoint 3, it says read through the sources and the effects of the Industrial Revolution document set. After each document, choose a prompt from the list that you think can be proven or disproven by that document. And then, number 3, answer each prompt with your agreement or disagreement, a piece of evidence from the document set, and an explanation to defend your answer. So what's that going to look like? Well, you're going to go to your resources. You're going to open up this document set here, Effects of the Industrial Revolution document set. And of course, if I'm on the Checkpoint page, I'm going to go to Checkpoint 3. And I'm going to go down to Resources for Everyone and click on that first one there. So we're going to use the example of Document A to start us off with. Document A is a poem written by this guy named William Wordsworth, and it's called The Excursion. So William Wordsworth, he's a pretty well-known poet at the time in England. And he's going to be focusing on what he thinks the Industrial Revolution's effects have been. As we're reading this, since we are trying to answer the question, was it beneficial to the environment, we want to be thinking about positive and negative things that are going on. So what I'm going to suggest we all do is if you see a positive effect going on, highlight that in yellow. If you see a negative effect, highlight that in blue. So that'll help you at the end once you decide whether you think this is positive or negative things going on here. So we're going to dig into this poem right away. And again, after I read this document, what I want to be looking for is I want to see if we can answer one of these prompts, one of these points here with information from the document. Just like if you were in a Socratic seminar, you'd be able to answer a question. So I'm going to start here, and this poem starts saying, meanwhile, at social industry's command, how quick, how vast an increase from that germ of some poor hamlet rapidly produced, here a huge town, continuous and compact, hiding the face of earth for leagues, and there, where not a habitation stood before, abodes of men irregularly massed like trees and forests spread through spacious tracts. Now there's this nice little summary over here that kind of tells you what's going on in that first verse there, the first stanza, and it says, industry has expanded quickly, turning small towns into cities. You can no longer see the earth because there are so many people crowded together. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that he's not thinking this is a very positive thing going on here. So I'm going to highlight it in blue. Blue being a negative effect, as we see right there. So this is going to be one of our negative effects. All right. Okay. I'm going to go on for the example I used down here. This last stanza is pretty good. The summary is, I am sad when I think about the negative parts of this change. This change has damaged nature and caused distress for England. Okay. So now that I've read this, I've got some ideas here. He's mostly thinking that this is negative. He says here that he is grieving about this darker side of this great change, this outrage done to nature. Very negative language. He doesn't think this change is good. He thinks the cities are bad. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to think, well, which one of these prompts could he answer? I'm going to see right away in that first one, did everyone think the growth of cities was a good thing? Well, I don't think so. Or William Wordsworth doesn't think so. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy that prompt and you're going to put it down here. So I already have it copied in here. Did everyone in England think the growth of cities was positive? Well, what does Mr. Wordsworth say? He does not. Most of that was negative. So I'm going to type in here that I disagree. Not everyone thought it was positive. Now, that's your claim right there. So your statement of agreement or disagreement. The evidence I'm going to choose to show that comes from that last verse we looked at, where it says, I grieve when on the darker side of this great change I look, and there behold such outrage done to nature. Right there. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that in with my evidence right here. Make sure we use quotation marks. I grieve when on the darker side of this great change I look, and there behold such outrage done to nature. All right. Make sure we're putting our source in there, The Excursion by William Wordsworth, or you could put in document A. So my explanation is going to be, why does this show that Wordsworth doesn't think it was positive? My explanation is that how here in this poem, he's stating how he is sad about the changes. So, yep, he says, I grieve. You know, he's sad about the changes that have happened to little towns being turned into big, dirty cities. This outrage done to nature, this great change. So, no, not everyone thought this growth of cities was positive in England. All right. So I cross that off. This is one example. That I used. You guys are going to go on, I would say, start with document B right away. As you're reading document B, again, think to yourself, does document B talk about creating a better world or not a better world? Does it make the environment better or worse? Do you agree or disagree with this statement? So as you're looking through that document, think, wow, I wonder which question this answers. Oh, this maybe answers this prompt. Does it make the environment better or did it make it worse? Include a piece of evidence, include your source, and include your explanation in that section there. All right. You need to have 3 responses done. So that means you should be looking at 3 documents from this document set, and all the boxes need to be filled in, of course. Reminder, I'm anticipating this as well. Your evidence should directly link to your claim. So you should have, if you disagree that the Industrial Revolution made the environment better, your evidence should also show what is worse about the environment instead of it getting better. Okay? How does it back you up? Any questions on that? My office hours are on Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. Please sign up on the Google Classroom so I can get you that link sent out ahead of time. All right. Any questions? Feel free to email me as well.